guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I've got something very exciting. I'm going to be doing a nutrition Q&A. So this is for my 6-week Shape Up Your Plate challenge, and I got people to submit their questions that they would like to ask a nutritionist, or things that they've been struggling with, or things that they need help or advice on. So I thought this would be really interesting to put together and share with you all. So number one is, what's the driving factor behind everything I'm doing at the moment? So I think what really drives me is, especially in the online space, in the social media world, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of confusion, and I know especially for women, we're lacking a lot of confidence in ourselves, and we're always trying to keep up with the next person, and people are starting to starve themselves and really limit their calories and weigh themselves every day and let their whole lives be taken over by numbers. So I want to completely change the game we look at food and make food exciting and something you look forward to, and think of food in abundance rather than restriction, and tune in with your body and use intuitive eating. And instead of looking at food to get skinny or little exterior factors like that, I like looking at food for disease prevention and digestive health and nourishment from the inside out, and actually longevity. And the concept that I like to follow is actually by the China study and the blue zones. And the China study shows that the people in the world who ate the least meat have the longest life expectancy and the least amount of chronic disease and illness. And the blue zones, they all eat a predominantly plant-based diet, and they're living to 100 years and older. So instead of trying to be skinny and thin, I think that's a far more interesting concept to follow. Like, literally, we can live longer by the amount of food that we eat. And even with your genes, we can turn off and turn on genes by our lifestyle. If your grandparents suffered from something and then your parents suffered from something, you can actually break the cycle simply by changing your diet and lifestyle. So I just find that so interesting. It gives me such purpose in life. Number two is, what do I think about intermittent fasting? So this is a very common thing that people are doing at the moment. Number one, people like it for weight loss, because say if you remove one of the meals from the day, you're saving yourself, I don't know, anywhere between 200 to 500 calories, I guess you could say. So people find it's quite good for weight loss. But on the flip side, some people just don't function doing that. I know for myself that if I'm hungry in the morning and I don't have breakfast, I get to a stage, I start to get angry, and I feel like I'm going to vomit because my stomach acid has literally built up. So I literally just eat when I feel hungry. So I'm all about doing what feels right for you, and making your own schedule and listening to what your body needs rather than creating a rule around something. So some people find it very beneficial, some people don't, and it depends on how you go about it, but it's all up to you. Number three is it best to work out in the morning or night? And I like to keep this one super simple. Literally work out when you're more likely to do it. So some people do it first thing in the morning because they've got the most energy and they can just get it out of the way and it's all done and dusted, so they can just chill for the rest of the day. Personally, I feel like I don't do as good a job if I work out in the morning. I get tired easier, I can't lift as heavy weights, my endurance isn't up to scratch, and I kind of just feel flat and can't really make it through. If I eat a good healthy breakfast, work on my laptop for the first half of the day while I've got peak concentration, and then have a healthy lunch, and then about an hour after that, that's when I do my workout, and I feel like I've got the most energy to really smash it out, to break up the day, and then can go back to working in the evening, or cleaning or cooking and things like that. Or if you want to do it after work, that works for you. If that works for you as well, then that's totally fine, but it's all about when you're most likely to stick to your schedule. Number four, this one is quite an interesting topic. How are the keto diet, the ketogenic diet, and the vegan diet both dominating at the moment if they're so opposite? So what's actually the healthiest diet to have? Well, the take that I like to have is, I focus on internal health. So the keto diet focuses on external health, really. It's all about weight loss and limiting your carbs. So with I've done some posts about this before. There's definitely a right and wrong way to do it. I've seen some really beautiful looking healthy keto recipes, and I'm not against those kind of things. They'll have some lean meat, or they'll have a nice bit of fish, or something nice like that, and lots of salad ingredients and vegetables, and they make it really colourful and wholesome. So that's an all right way to do keto diet. And I've seen some people just eat bacon and cheese and just load up on all this yucky, fatty, processed stuff. That's not a health food. That is not a health food, and that's not going to do good for the inside of your body. And I've heard people say, oh, I just choose the cheap she swore, I just choose the cheap, crappy cuts of meat because it doesn't matter because you need to be on high fat anyway. That's so high in saturated fat, and it's got a lot of other things in it that you don't realize that are in the meat, and that's not good for your insides. So yeah, there's a right and wrong way to do it, but I dislike the fact that it ignores what it's doing to your internal organs, and it only focuses on your external appearance. With the vegan diet, there's also a right and wrong way to do it. People can do it wrong if they don't eat enough, or they don't eat a wide variety of food. Some people handle it better differently than others, which can also depend on your blood type. And I find that's why it's also important to have an open mind, because not one size fits all. So even though I follow a 90% plant-based diet or 95%, I've spoken to people who have tried to go vegan and it hasn't worked for them, so they just follow a most of the time approach, and that's their personal balance. So yeah, there's definitely right and wrong way to both of them, but I like the vegan plant-based side of things because it's got a lot more benefits, like for the planet, for the animals, your spirituality, and your values as well. So when you're eating such clean foods, that's going to show in your external appearance, and you're going to have nice clear skin, you're going to have a good body, you're going to have good digestion. So I just think there's far more benefits to that side of it than the keto diet from what I've personally read about and studied. Number 5, hot topic, is it okay to eat soy? There's so many opposing articles online, and so much opposing research, and some people are so scared of soy, like, oh my god, it's going to ruin your hormones. And soy has it's got phytoestrogens that mimic estrogen receptors, or so it blocks the receptors in your body or something like that. It's really hard to put into words, but basically it's not bad for your body. And I think that we need to take it in an approach like, if you eat too much of anything, it can be bad. Like if you're eating, if you're drinking like liters and liters of soy milk a day, or just eating soy products every day, it might have a bad effect on you. But if you just eat it as part of a balanced diet, like have tofu once or twice a week and have soy milk in your coffee or your smoothie, it's absolutely fine. I also like to relate this back to the blue zones, where the Japanese women in the Okinawas, they eat soy every day as part of their diet, and they're living to 100 years and older. They suffer from the least amount of breast cancer. So what's the correlation there? The other thing I would like you to consider when people say, oh, soy milk gives you man boobs, what is the purpose of cow's milk? Cow's milk is literally to grow a baby calf into a 400-pound cow as rapidly as possible. So their bodies are much bigger than humans, and also if you look at human breast milk compared to cow's milk, we have far less proteins and all of the stuff in it to help us grow, because we're not huge mammals. So when we eat something that's meant for a cow, that's stimulating our cells and causing all of these growths within our body, and it's also very mucus binding as well. So cow's milk is literally more likely to do that to you than soy milk. Soy milk is not something that you need to avoid at all. Number 6 is, what foods should we avoid? So when I go to the supermarket, I don't look at the calorie count, I don't really look at the fat in there, I don't look at that side of the label, only the sugar, but I'm like kind of lenient on that. The thing that I look at is the ingredients list. If there's things I can't pronounce, if there's all of these long scientific names, if there's lots of artificial colors or preservatives, or just things that I don't believe should be in my body, then I would avoid that. I avoid fake food. I've seen I've bought guides from other people I really looked up to in the fitness industry, but they just have a different, I've got a holistic approach, they have a bodybuilding approach. So they'll say, yeah, have sugar-free whipped cream, and yeah, have sugar-free ice cream. All the stuff is perfectly fine. Have sugar-free soda. And if you look at the ingredients, it's not stuff that you should be having, like maybe as a treat, but it's not natural, and it's not healthy, and yet maybe low sugar, but it's not designed for human consumption. So I think that we should avoid processed food and things that we can't pronounce, and try to prioritize eating from the earth. That's my favorite saying, eat from the earth. So number 7 is, what is the worst diet advice that I've ever seen? So a couple of weeks ago I was working in a health store, and this poor lady came in. She must have been in her late 40s or her 50s, and she's trying to keep the weight off. She's searching for these little black coffee pills, which probably don't make that much of a difference to your weight if you don't have the right lifestyle. But she had found this diet online that is recommending people to eat 500 calories a day for 21 days or something like that. That's literally can be one meal for some people, or 2 small snacks, and that is not enough to live off. And also, especially if you need to get all of your nutrients into your day, like eating 5+ fruit and veggies a day, or even opting for 7+, aiming for 7+ fruit and veggies a day, all of the nutrients that you need to provide your body with, you're not going to get that in one meal. You're going to be starving and exhausted. You're not going to have energy to work out and like fuel your muscles. So if you're trying to lose weight, going to extremes like that and really just punishing yourself, the thing that you need to do is long-term lifestyle changes. So I refer to diet as the way I eat. I'm not on a diet or like restricting myself as such. I just refer to diet as like my day-to-day food. So what we really need to do is implement habits and different actions in place and different choices that you make every day that's going to equal to the bigger picture in the long term, so that it's sustainable and you feel happy and excited while you do it. Number 8 is, what is my best tip for staying healthy? And a few of the biggest problems that people struggle with is doing shift work or being so tired after work that you don't have energy or time to work out or cook or eat healthy or make good choices, so you just get takeaways and you sit on the couch. Or lots of people are just really under pressure and stress from modern life and from their jobs. So everyone says this, you already know, but meal prep is the hugest lifesaver. Even myself, when I came back from the supermarket the other day, I bought some celery because I want to make some homemade hummus. I cut up all the celery and put it in the fridge. So next time I'm looking for a snack, the easiest things are celery and hummus, or I've got a protein shake, or I've got some nuts ready to go, some fruit and cashew yogurt. If you prep your food ahead of time, you can even do little hummus dippers and put the veggies already in there in little jars in the fridge, so you just take them out and go. Make little chia puddings, and especially preparing veggies. So say if you don't want to eat the same meal over and over again with meal prep, just prepare larger portions of certain ingredients. Like if you cook rice, cook like 4 or 5 servings of rice, so you've got enough for the week, and you can change up your meals from day to day. Same as if you're doing roast veggies, you can do a big roast veggie salad, but change your protein that you have it with, or change the dressings that you have it with, or add more greens, or add chickpeas to it, so it's different every day. That is the hugest lifesaver when wanting to stay healthy, is being prepared ahead of time, and that way you've got no excuses when you're driving home and you're looking at McDonald's. You're like, nope, I've got food in the fridge ready to go. And even in the freezer, do things ahead of time like soups and stews, and you can just freeze them and then just gently heat them up on the stove and you're good to go. Number 9, this one is a little bit of tough love. How do you stay motivated? And this is the voice that I say to myself when I'm making up excuses like, oh my God, I really want to do some more glute exercises. And it's just the habit of getting into it, and like I keep doing these workouts and keep avoiding it and just not doing it. And same as yoga, I really want to get into yoga to stretch my body. and most people would find this, they would relate to this with eating healthy, but the thing that I like to say to myself is, how bad do you really want it? Because if you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to do it. So it's the most simple thing ever, but if you're putting off something in your head and you think about it every day, and you're like, man, I really want to do that, man, I really want to do that, well, how bad do you actually want it? Go out and make the first move and make it a habit to do it every day, and then it will slowly become part of your normal routine. Number 10, this one is one of the biggest excuses that people come up with when eating healthy, is how do you make eating healthy affordable? So the way that I look at it is, processed food is often cheaper, but it's so empty, it doesn't actually fill you up. If you think about how long you stay full for after a McDonald's burger or after a bag of chips, you're not actually full, you've just consumed all of these calories that may be cheap, but they're not providing your body with actual energy. So I like to look at it as plant-based whole foods are the cheapest foods we have access to on this entire planet. Think about all of your lean veggies and your starchy veggies, your rice, your oats, your grains, and your fruit. That's the cheapest food that we have access to. Also look at it as saving money on medical bills in the future. If you look after yourself now, you're least likely to come across preventable disease and illness in the future. Also, if you follow a vegan diet, only having mock meat and like vegan cheese and treats like that as a treat, and only do it as the seasoning and flavouring, or just every so often. If you're buying those more expensive things all the time, they do add up. Limiting takeaways and dining out. I only dine out about once a month, and I'll probably only get takeaways once a month. The rest of the time I'm just eating at home and doing meal prep, and you're also saving yourself on you always like unnecessary calories, because you always know what's going to be in your food. Another quick add to that is always going to the grocery store with a list. Every week I make a list of meals that I want to make, and I go there knowing what ingredients that I need, and that way I'm not wasting food at all. And I've also recently written an ebook, How to Do a Healthy Vegan Grocery Shop, which breaks down all of the food that I would buy in my normal shop, and I've included recipes and little tips on staying on track in the ebook there. So there you have it. I hope you liked this little video. So if you would like more personal assistance from me with your nutrition, because this is literally my biggest driving purpose in life at the moment, I've created my 6-week Shape Up Your Plate challenge, and it takes you through all of these different topics. You get meal guides with recipes and over 60 meals and snacks that you can make throughout your week that are all focused on whole foods. Although I follow a plant-based diet, I like to provide people with options. So it's called a whole foods meal plan, and basically each recipe will have options to make it vegan, or you can include your choice of meat or a sprinkle of dairy as well, so that you can go at your own pace and it's suited to fit your needs, because it's all up to your individual body. And I've provided a workout guide, and then you'll get weekly emails with different topics to really change the way you look at food and give you knowledge and education that you need around nutrition, and that way you could carry on your journey even after the 6 weeks is up. So that's currently available for $29 a week, so I'll put the link in the caption. And if you would like to see more of these videos, then subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I hope to see you all soon for the next one. I really love you all. Thank you all for your support, and yeah, see you next time.